Hello everyone, this is Grandmaster Var Akobian with 1000 GM. We're analyzing the games from the Hollywood GM Norm event, and here is the game from round number 4 between IM Grinberg and IM Schmakel. Let's take a look. E4, C5, knight F3, E6, another Sicilian defense, and now C3 played. Idea behind C3 is to try to play D4 and try to get a control of the center, sort of the Alapin system of the Sicilian. But now D5 is going to come. It's actually very interesting here. If white plays E5, knight C6, D4, it will simply transpose into the French defense lines that I played for many, many years after Queen B6, for example, there. So, but after this ED played, I now took back Queen takes D5. Of course, you can take back with the pawn too, but then you're going to have to probably play some positions where you have an isolated pawn. Like if you go here, let's say bishop b2, you play, let's say bishop b7, the take, you will get some position where you have this pawn here. I don't mind playing this position for black. I actually enjoy it. It's quite active. But some people just, are very particular. They don't want to play with the isolated pawn. They think it's just too difficult. D4, knight f6. And now we go to this line. Bishop b4. Yeah, so it's interesting. A bishop b4 and take without even being provoked by a3. Just take and give up. I don't quite like this for black as much because I feel like white is just going to be better here with two bishops and a control of the center. But I also understand that maybe he was worried about the move d5. But still, I don't know if d5 is such a big threat here. I think I would just castle here. And generally, you put a bishop on e7 here. The bishop on b4 is only one purpose, take on c3, but I don't really want to do that. I don't want to give up my bishop. So let's see now what happened here. Bishop g5 makes sense. b6. Queen 2. Rook ft1. No, knight e7. Yeah, the point of the knight e7 is actually if you allow bishop takes f6, there is g takes f6, and knight will go on g6. So c4 is the best move, which was played. And now bishop takes f3 is one option. Bishop takes f3 and then knight g6, but he went here. And I think this now we understand the problem here. If you don't take the knight on f3, the knight is going to simply land on e5. Okay, it's going to land on e5, and it's going to be very difficult to do anything here. Knight g6. Now queen e3. If you take, I take back with the pawn. Knight d7 takes. Now a4 with idea a5 to try to trade on a6. And again, white is definitely slightly better due to the pair of the bishops and the control of the center. These pawns are pretty strong. They're hanging pawns. Sometimes they could be weak, but in this case, I think they're pretty strong pawns here. So let's continue. Yeah, so instead of queen e5, yeah, definitely knight e5 was a stronger move too. Queen d8, d5. Now we get this position. Now knight g6. Knight g6 is securing the defense, and knight takes, rook fd8. d4. Yeah, this is a dubious move here. The better move is just to play rook to c5. And if capture occurs, you just play rook to d5. Okay? So I actually played here. Bishop g6. Wow, that's a tough decision. I mean, giving up the bishop and helping him undouble the pawns, I'm not sure. I like the move bishop f1 here. It would have been here. Very nice. And then rook d2, double up the rooks. I played here. Yeah, that loses the pawn. And actually black is taking over slowly. Just barely trying to hang on to that pawn. Again, only black can play here. And a bit surprising, but he decides to go for the perpetual here, basically, or repetition. I mean, you don't want to play f4, you lose the pawn here. You don't want to play g3 because you just, after queen e4, you're going to get mated. So there's no choice. I mean, I feel like black is a little bit better when we got here. It feels black should be a little bit better, but actually in real practice, it's really hard to break through. So solid draw for both players, guys. Hope you enjoyed this game, and we'll be back with more game coverage for you. See you soon.